What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Knab and Ro Show. I'm here with my compatriot and partner in crime, Ro. Say hi, Ro.
Hi, kids.
And welcome back to the last podcast of 2020.
Yay!
Woo!
We made it.
Goodness gracious, we are
It's been a year.
day-ish away.
Yeah,
We're getting there.
we are.
Well, okay, so for us it's a day-ish. For you guys, it's going to be, countdown to New Year's. So
Yeah.
So
That's
we're
true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're definitely getting there of sorts. So
Yeah.
very, 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 very excited. And today, Ro, let's tell everybody what we're going to talk about before we get into what we did last week.
We are going to talk about fun facts about New Year's Eve and day.
Yes. So everything New Year's, that's what we're going to be talking about. It's going to be fantastic. So
Yeah, it'll be
before we
fun.
do that, my friend, tell everybody what you do last week. How was your Christmas?
Christmas was good. It was probably one of the quieter ones that we've had just due to COVID. We didn't do the big family get-togethers or anything, which was nice because I always feel like it's just such a hustle and bustle for us because we have one side of the family to do on Christmas Eve, and then we have like my family with just like my siblings and stuff. We usually do Christmas morning, and then we go to my either aunt and uncles or my grandma's to do my dad's side of the family. But this year we kind of canceled everything and we just kind of hung out with ourselves, and it was actually really nice. I wore my pajamas all day and watched Christmas movies, and we got to, eat and just hang out and enjoy each other's company. So it was really nice. We didn't have the stress of having to be somewhere at a certain time. And it was actually really nice. It was really relaxing, which I've wanted for a very long time. I did miss seeing my family, though. Like, don't get me wrong, but it was nice just to hang out with my parents and siblings, and we don't get to do that very often. So it's nice when that
Could have done a
is allowed.
Facebook watch party.
We could have. That would have been a lot of people, though. Oh my gosh, so many people.
All the people.
But yeah, but it was good. It was a good Christmas. I got some very nice things, and people were very generous. And yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Good food. What did you do? I knew your parents were in town.
We did the very opposite. My brothers and his family came over from St. Louis. My parents came over from North Carolina, and we all kind of spent it at my sister's place. And then they came over to our house one time, and so our Christmas was multiple days. And Sunday, we actually rented a movie theater. So it was only our family went in for COVID protocol reasons, and we watched The Croods 2.
Oh. Well,
Yeah.
that's interesting. Is it
Yeah.
expensive to do?
It's not too bad. It's
Okay.
it's really not too bad. I think it's less than $200. It's like 180 or something like that. But
Well, you have
it
a big
was,
group,
Yeah, we had a big group. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a big group, and it was really nice because with Alistair being 1 year old, he was almost 2. March 31st, he
Right.
turns 2.
Right.
But he doesn't care about the movie. He's up. He's rolling around, running around the theater, just doing whatever the heck he can do. So.
Well, that's nice too, because then he can be part of it, but you don't have to worry about annoying anybody else that isn't your family that wouldn't understand. So that's a good idea. Do they have like popcorn and stuff still?
Oh yeah, we had our masks
okay.
on in the first part of it, and got all of our popcorn, candy, soda, water, whatever you drink, and it was a blast. It was a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I wish they would do that here, because well, I don't think I want to spend like $200 for a movie, but
yeah. Well, I think if everybody comes and everybody pitches in, it's really not more expensive than just paying for tickets for yourself.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So, but it's worth it.
well,
But
good.
I will say, and I'm not going to say which movie theater it is, but we were very upset. We went there. They did not clean the seats or anything when we first got there, and they should have. They had this big movie introduction thing about how they're going to sanitize the theater, clean everything up, hand wipe, blah, blah. They didn't do any of that. And so we had a nice talk with the management afterwards. Like, really? COVID? And you guys are slacking? That's not good. Just saying.
Interesting.
But anywho, so New Year's Eve into the New Year's, right? Talk about many stuff and things.
Yeah.
So there's 30 of them. So we're going to talk about them.
Yeah,
We're just going to dive on in. And,
and I was kind of perusing through them, not to kind of like, because I kind of want the shock factor for both of us too. I was kind of perusing them, and we're going to visit some other countries and just kind of fun facts about New Year's Day and Eve and how some traditions came about, how other countries spend it, what they do, So it'll be an educational and informative, fun type of thing.
Yeah, and we're going to ask you guys all to put down in the comments down below what you guys do for New Year's and what's kind of your traditions.
Yeah, we usually get together at least, before we dive into fun facts. Our tradition New Year's is usually hanging out at like my parents' house and playing games and having family over, but we're not doing that this year just because of COVID. So. Yeah. My plan is to get a pizza and watch some movies.
Yeah.
And play some WoW with my online friends at a safe distance.
Yeah, to me, New Year's isn't that big of a holiday. I can't say we had a tradition we did as a family, besides maybe taking wooden spoons and pots and banging the crap out of them at midnight, you know?
Fireworks.
Yeah, maybe going to fireworks, but there are times we just went to sleep. We're like, yay, we watch the ball drop, we're like, yay, and then we go to bed.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. New Year's is okay. If I never want to go to Times Square. I know they're not doing it now, but back in the day, and you just remember how big.
Oh my gosh.
How many people there. Oh my gosh.
Thousands.
Yeah, and it usually is really cold, and you have to wait there all day long to reserve a spot. I mean, it's absolutely nuts, but yeah. Okay.
I like watching it from the comfort of my own home.
Agreed. I agree. I agree. As outgoing as I am, I don't do that type of crowds. I don't do city. I don't do crowds like that. I just no thanks.
Yeah. Agreed.
So, Ro, number 1. Let's go ahead and rock it off. What do we got?
Number 1. So, a symbol of the new year is generally a little baby that has like a top hat. Kind of signifies the new year and the new start. So the baby new year has been a symbol of the holiday since around 600 BC. So it's been around for a while, which I didn't know.
Yeah.
Started in ancient Greece when an infant was paraded around in a basket in celebration of the god of fertility. And the baby represents a rebirth that occurs at the start of each new year. So that's where the symbol started from.
Dionysus.
Yeah. Dionysus.
Oh, fertility and wine. Very important.
Yeah.
So we 2 things people do on New Year's is be somewhat fertile and drink a lot. So that makes sense. I like it.
And probably crawl home, maybe.
Yeah. Crawl, pass out random places. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the second one we have is Auld Lang Syne. It's a very difficult word. So it was actually taken from a Scottish folk song called the Auld Lang Syne, Syne, right? And he put his own spin on it in about 1788 in the version that we all know today. May all the acquaintance be forgot. That one, that's what that song is, and that's a little history. It was actually an old Scottish folk song.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I didn't either until I was perusing that earlier.
Yeah.
So another big symbol of New Year's is, like you had mentioned to you about the ball dropping in Times Square. So they call them time balls, and they were actually invented to help sailors. Long before it was used on New Year's Eve, a ball on the top of England's Royal Observatory in Greenwich was dropped at 1 p.m. every day, starting in 1833, to help ship captains coordinate their navigation equipment. Similar balls were set up in coastal areas around the world at that time.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
And it's so neat to see all these really traditional kind of facts about New Year's and how they have really just gone away, and now it's just a big old party.
Right.
For example, like number 4, which is the actual Times Square New Year's party, initially was thrown for the to celebrate the grand opening of the New York Times building in 1904. So really had nothing to do with New Year's. It was just, hey, it's going to be a party at New Year's, but we're celebrating, New York Times building that just opened in 1904. 200,000 people attended.
That's a lot of people for that time period, too.
It's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people. I mean, New York is big, so I would imagine a lot of people. It's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Very much a lot of people. So, although they had the New Year's party in Times Square, there wasn't a ball that actually dropped until 1907.
Huh.
Yeah, fireworks were previously used to welcome the new year in, but they were banned because burning embers were falling on the crowds. A ball being lowered on a flagpole was a safer bet, so they started using that in 1907.
Wow.
And they started using the balls that they had talked about in England.
Yeah.
That helped the sailors and get their equipment all timed up.
Yeah. So, I mean, in every country there's going to be a specific city that's more or less designated for the spot or location for the biggest celebration in that country. For us, obviously, it's New York at Times Square, downtown New York. So, it's been going on for a long time, right? It's every year since the early 1900s, right?
Yep.
But every single year they've done a celebration of it, except for during World War II. So 1942 and 1943, at midnight, instead of celebrating, everybody was to observe a moment of silence at midnight instead. And it still shows a very large crowd there, but I think at midnight we're used to celebration, balloons, confetti, I mean everything.
All the things.
Imagine hundreds of thousands of people just silent at midnight.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I can't even imagine. And it's really sad to think that this is the first time since 1943 this year that we're not going to be doing that either.
Yeah. It is. I think it'll be something will be I think the dropping of the ball will be televised. I think I read somewhere. But there isn't going to be the large crowd or anything like that. So it'll be weird to not see that. But
absolutely
in par with the times.
Exactly.
But speaking of the Times Square ball, apparently the ball's weight has yo-yoed over time. The original ball was made from 700 pounds of iron and wood. It was later reduced to just 400 pounds of wrought iron before they switched to aluminum frame in 1955. The now 11,875 pound ball didn't get its new look and materials until the millennium, when Waterford partnered with Philip Lighting to create a shimmery LED display, which is what you've seen the last few years.
Yeah, exactly. Which actually, this one, the next one, number 8, is actually partnering with what Ro just talked about. So that Waterford ball pattern. So, and I'm just going to read this because it's very short. So the sphere is made up of 2,688 crystal triangles and has over 32,000 lights.
Wow.
32,000 lights. That is absolutely... I remember, I think it was last year they had to postpone, or they were having troubles because all the lights weren't coming on, so they had to try to move around to try to fix it. I feel like that's something you would have fixed way before the time to go and test it 1,000
you would at least
times.
test it out. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But I mean, who knows? It could happen. But 2018, the latest design is called The Gift of Serenity, which includes cuts that resemble butterflies drifting through the air. So, yeah, it's nice.
Crazy. Yeah. Well, it says they come up with a new ball pattern every year.
That's
just crazy.
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
That's a lot.
It's a lot of money.
Totally. Definitely.
Just saying.
So, yeah. And we'd mentioned this too, in Times Square, we've got the ball drop and the confetti.
Yeah. And
2,000 pounds of confetti are dropped in Times Square every year. That's a lot. That's a lot.
That is a lot.
So much. That's a big cleanup too. Like, I've never been to New York, so I'm not really sure, perceptionally how big Times Square is, but 2,000 pounds of confetti is a lot.
That is a lot.
I mean, I'm not a big glitter fan anyway because it's so messy. It gets everywhere. You can never clean it up. I feel kind of the same way about confetti. It's just a mess.
Well, at least it's not like glitter where you find stuff for ages. At least, confetti's paper. It's a little bit easier.
That's true. It's true. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like if somebody sent me a confetti bomb over a glitter bomb, I'd be fine with it.
Mm-hmm. True.
But you send me a glitter bomb, you can expect I'm hunting you down. Just saying.
Everybody send Michael glitter balls.
No. Oh my God. Oh, if I get a bunch of Amazon packages, I am not opening them. It is not happening. Oh my gosh. I will open it up in my neighbor's yard. Just kidding, Greg. Just kidding. So, moving into different traditions around the United States, instead of a ball, so Miami, Florida, another big city in the United States, they ring in the new year with a giant orange. So it's the raising of what they call Mr. Neon. It is a 35-foot sunglass-clad metal fruit, and they've been doing that for about 30 years.
Wow.
You gotta think that was since only 1990.
What? No. Oh, so old. I feel so old.
Yeah, 30 years ago, 1990.
Oh my gosh. I need new tennis balls for my walker now. Oh my gosh. So old. Oh my gosh.
Oh, good Lord.
The 90s were great. I love the 90s, and I can't believe we're like to that point now. I'm just like, I'm just really old.
Yeah.
All right. So you had talked about Miami, Florida. Well, in Key West, Florida, a drag queen actually descends in a shoe. They are lowered from a bar rooftop in a giant red high-heeled shoe, and this has been happening since 1996.
Yeah. And moving to the next one, so number 12 is actually at Hershey, PA. So can you guys guess what they drop in Hershey, PA?
Could it be chocolate?
Maybe, right? A giant kiss, like Hershey's Kisses, drops to ring in the new year, which I think is pretty cool. So,
that is awesome.
Yeah, there's a bunch of other ones. Yeah. Like, for example, so Pennsylvania tradition is to play off their names, like Mechanicsburg, they drop a wrench. In Dillsburg, they drop a giant pickle.
So funny.
Oh, Pennsylvania, you're so goofy.
Yeah, they are. But they do make good chocolate.
That's true. Oh, goodness gracious.
So another thing that a lot of people do is drink champagne on New Year's Eve. And it is estimated that Americans drink about 360 million glasses of sparkling wine on New Year's Eve. That's a lot of glasses.
That is a lot. If you look at I think I looked at this a couple of New Year's ago. I think we actually talked about it last year on this time when we did our first initial podcast. We might have mentioned it. But some of the numbers of things like beer drink, wine drink, amount of hot dogs and burgers cooked.
I think we talked about the food on like the 4th of July. We were doing fun facts about and the amount of chips and beer and like hot dogs and stuff were just like, wow, that's a lot of consuming of those things. I had no idea. And I think that was even like a year or two old on those stats too. So I'm sure they've gone up a little bit. But remember, corks can fly out of the bottle at about 25 miles per hour. So make sure you open those bottles at a 45-degree angle. Away from yourself and others, preferably.
Watch out for lights, because I've almost dinged a light one time opening a bottle. But then you have those duds where you do it and they just kind of fall down because there's not enough pressure. Like, what the heck?
Yeah.
It's kind of
so anticlimactic.
Yeah. So another big thing with New Year's is the ball drops, it turns midnight, and what's the first thing you do? You turn to whoever you're with, if you're with somebody, and you kiss them, right? Kiss brings in the New Year's, New Year, whatever that might be. So funny enough, the kissing tradition actually started back in the days of Romans. So the Romans, they celebrated a festival called Saturnalia, which is honoring Saturn, the god of time. Makes sense. New Year's, New Year, god of time. And obviously, it got a little bit more frisky back in the day with the Romans. Not just kissing, but, it wasn't until The Christians actually took over the Roman Empire. That Christmas, New Year's festivities kind of went there, and they kept the kissing tradition alive. So that's. So if you want to be like a Roman, get all frisky. Don't just kiss. I'm just saying. I'm not condoning anything. I'm just saying, people. Goodness.
Yeah. So continuing around the world, and I'm probably going to totally butcher this name, but Kiribati, which is also known as the Christmas Island, which is located in the Central Pacific, they actually celebrate New Year's first, just with the time difference in zones of everything. So, and they celebrate throughout each village that's there, and social and political activities are taking place on that day.
Very awesome.
Yeah.
So, to go with that, right, we think about what is the actual, hitting buttons here, the actual last place to ring in the new year, okay? So, these two islands of Baker and Howland, so those two islands, which are actually both uninhabited, are the last two places to ring in the new year. America Samoa is actually the second to last place behind those two islands that actually ring in the new year. So some tourists will actually take advantage of that, and they'll fly from Samoa to American Samoa to celebrate twice. So I think, in my opinion, that's a to-do thing before you die.
Yeah, definitely.
Go to Samoa and then celebrate there, and then go to the American Samoa and then celebrate it twice. I'm just saying, it's a good idea.
Yeah. I wonder if they make Samoa Girl Scout cookies in both locations.
Oh, heaven's sakes, bro.
I mean, they're good cookies. What can you say?
This is true. That's true.
Yeah. So, following along in New Year's, there is a place in Japan, Akita, Japan, where a local tradition is for grown men to dress up like demons to scare children into behaving for their parents. And they go from house to house yelling, are there any crybabies at home or any naughty kids around?
Oh my goodness.
And I'm just looking at these pictures, or the picture that's on this link here, and they're kind of creepy.
Interesting. And
yeah, I'm not a fan. I don't know. I'd be scared.
I feel like it's the Krampus.
Maybe. Like, I don't know. There's just something about him.
It's like the New Year's version of the Krampus for Japanese people.
Yeah, very well.
Very interesting. Yeah. I'll have to talk to Saburo. He was our foreign exchange student from Japan, if that's a thing that he's ever done or experienced.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'll talk to him about that. I'll bring it up. You have to remind me.
Circle back. Yeah, circle back. Yeah, circle back.
So, moving along across the world from Japan, we're moving over to Italy. So, Italy, wearing red underwear is considered lucky. You'd think, okay, lucky color would be green over in Ireland, right? Well, in Italy, it's red. So if you wear red underwear on New Year's, it's supposed to bring you good fortune for the coming year. Now, it's also considered that the color of fertility is also red. So if you wear that, it's doubly lucky if you're trying to conceive on that night. Just saying.
Interesting. Well, maybe I'll wear red underwear tomorrow.
To conceive?
Well, to be lucky.
It's like, Ro, I had no idea.
What are you talking about?
That's right. I think it's hilarious. And they show this picture on this website of these little short, tidy whities. Oh, my good God. Oh, that's hilarious. Well, tidy reddies.
Tidy whities, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get it. Mm-hmm. All right.
Luck.
I know, right? What also is lucky in the Spanish households are grapes. They're supposedly lucky as well. And I guess there is a tradition in most Spanish households of scarfing down 12 grapes in the first 12 seconds of the new year. The grapes represent each month of the year. Rumor has it that the whole thing started as a marketing tactic for winemakers looking to sell more grapes in the winter.
Not surprised.
Yeah, I'd be afraid if I ate 12 grapes in 12 seconds, I might choke on them.
Yeah, that's a choking hazard. I'm with you on that one.
I'm not too sure about that.
No, yeah. But I mean, if we're still talking about luck, the next thing is talking about pork and black-eyed peas. So the fattiness of the pork symbolizes wealth, and the peas are believed to bring good fortune. So the luck part of it comes with those peas, right? Because they swell when cooked, which is why they're both very popular foods to eat on New Year's. right? Because think
Interesting.
alcohol consumption, you want to have
Yeah.
fatty foods to store all the alcohol to help you so you don't
Right.
get drunk too quick. At least that's
Right.
my take on it.
I mean, it makes sense. Yeah.
Big old
I
bowl
mean-
of black-eyed peas.
Yeah. Remember that.
That's right.
Black Eyed Peas, not the music group. I mean, they could join too. I mean, you could listen to Black Eyed Peas while eating
Eat
Black Eyed
Black-Eyed
Peas,
Peas,
and
yeah.
have a good time.
I like that. That's a good
Yeah,
idea.
I do too. Yeah.
Oh, and you could play the Black-Eyed Peas song, "We're Having the Time of Our Lives," right? During
Yeah.
New Year's. Oh, that's perfect.
Or hey, yeah, hello.
Hey, oh. Hey, yeah. Oh,
Hey, yeah.
goodness gracious.
So you want to eat the Black Eyed Peas, grapes, but you want to stay away from lobster and chicken
Uh-oh.
because they are both considered bad luck foods.
Oh,
According to the
that's-
superstition, it's because of lobster's ability to move backward and chicken's ability to scratch itself backwards.
What?
So if you eat either, you are not moving forward.
I mean, I understand the superstition part of that, but holy
Yeah.
cow.
I mean, I don't remember the last time I had lobster to begin with, so I'm pretty safe there.
Well, I like this whole food segment of this.
I know,
think it's
right?
Fun. No, it's really fun. Yeah, I'm gonna have to think
yeah.
seriously tomorrow. Okay, no chicken, no lobster's easy. Stephanie doesn't even do seafood, so that's not going to be a thing.
Right.
But
I'm
chicken
kind
is a
of
big thing in
disappointed.
this house.
Yeah. I was kind of disappointed because I really enjoy Papa Murphy's Chicken Mediterranean Delight Pizza.
Don't do
and
it.
that was what I was planning on getting tomorrow.
Nope. Black-eyed
Well, now I
peas.
can't. Black Eyed Peas and grapes.
Wait, it gets better, Ro. Check this out. Round
Okay.
or ring-shaped foods hold a special meaning. So, incorporate...
Pizza!
Yes, exactly! But with no chicken, so no barbecue chicken pizza.
Could it like cancel it out?
No, it doesn't
Like-
work like that. No,
You
you get
sure?
some luck and then you get some bad luck. No, I wouldn't even risk that. So, incorporating any round food into your New Year's meal, it symbolizes that the year has come full circle, right? So, donuts, bagels, pizza, stuff like that. See, it makes up for the lack that you can't have chicken, so just get yourself a pizza. You'll be fine.
I'll get a Hawaiian pizza instead.
Yeah.
Pineapple and Canadian bacon. Yes.
Oh, goodness.
All right, so now we're going to circle back to roaming around the world. And apparently, the ancient Babylonians celebrated New Year's in March. The New Year used to coincide with the arrival of spring, which would be in March. It's a 10 or 12-day festival, and it marks the occasion, which was more about praying than it was about finding a midnight kiss. So instead of kissing their loved ones, those ancient Babylonians would pray for a good New Year.
There you go. Absolutely. I mean, similar with Ethiopia. So if we're going to move to Ethiopia here, and they actually celebrate the New Year. It's September 11th.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting, considering that we have a remembrance of September 11th in the United States now.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So the calendar year actually began in the 8th year of the Common Era. Or the Common Era. Oh, my goodness gracious. So the solar calendar, which actually derived from Egyptians, consists of 13 months. So they're kind of a part of that whole spiel.
Yeah, I do remember them talking about that in school.
Huh?
13-month thing. So apparently, the French invented a new calendar during the Revolution, and that was used for 12 years. Or actually, okay, let me start over. So the French Republican calendar was used during the Revolution, and for 12 years after, to reflect the country's new age of liberty. So it was designed using a decimal system, which I remember learning about in school. And it was also briefly resurrected during the Paris Commune in 1871.
Interesting.
So we could totally have a different calendar system.
Huh. Well, think about this. So we celebrate on the 1st of January, right?
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't always the case. Not
True.
back when it originally started. So the
True.
Gregorian calendar was introduced in October of 1582 by Pope Gregory the 13th. So as his revised version of the Julian calendar, that's the Gregorian calendar, right? It took almost 350 years for the world to get on board with it. But here's the thing: they're calling out Turkey. Turkey didn't make the switch until 1927. Came out in 1582. Took 350 years for the world to get on board with it, and then Turkey said, "Nah," until 1927. That's crazy.
Wow. In 1927 isn't that long ago.
No.
In retrospect, yeah.
But think about that. Somebody came up with an idea, and hundreds of years ago, and hundreds of years after being dead, it finally caught on. So you create something as a legacy, and it means nothing for hundreds of years. That, to me, that blows my mind.
That's crazy.
That makes me think to never quit, never give it up. Don't think just because it doesn't work that someday it's not going to come around again.
Yeah, definitely. Well, and then, kudos for Turkey for keeping their tradition going.
Yeah, until the world said no.
Folding to the world, yeah.
That's probably my favorite topic we're talking about here today, just because of the legacy that's left behind hundreds of years later. I think that's so cool.
Yeah, no, I mean, both sides can play. It's like amazing how long it lasted for Turkey, and the fact that they just switched over not that long ago. So yeah, goodness. That's crazy. Yeah, but we're gonna talk about the month of January now because it's January 1st, first day of the month, the year, and it was widely reported that the month was named for the Roman god Janus, I would imagine, but it's actually rooted in the Latin word Ianua, which means door. So the name of January was chosen to symbolize the opening of a new door that happens when the new year begins.
See, that's pretty neat too. I love I love history. So the initial startings of things.
Right.
I think that's pretty cool.
It makes sense.
We could do a podcast just on the meanings of all the months and all that.
Of the months,
histories of it. Yeah.
That would be fun.
Ideas all the time, Ro.
Yeah.
Ideas
all the time. So many.
Yeah. So never to fear. We're up to the last 3 topics for tonight. Okay. AAA, right? The car company. I'm actually a member of AAA. So if my car breaks down, I get free towing and all that good jazz. Thanks, AAA. But if for some reason something happens to you, you're too drunk, you're not going to drive, be responsible, everybody, right?
Yes.
They will give free rides home. Have had too much to drink.
Yep. And I believe a lot of companies do. I know the public transportation here, like the buses and our Max line, which is like an above ground subway that comes in and out of Portland to some major cities. They offer free rides on New Year's Eve for people, and they actually extend their runs a little bit longer too. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it'll probably be the same this year because we still have public transportation going. But every year they offer free rides, so definitely don't drink and drive, and take advantage of those on that. So we're gonna talk about some songs, or a song, I should say.
I just read this and I'm already blown away.
Yeah. So a song that takes 1,000 years to play launched on January 1st, 2000, and it was composer Jem Finer wrote the piece called Long Player, and it can be heard at London's Trinity Buoy Wharf over its live stream. It's been performed by Singing Bowls and set to start all over again immediately after it finishes in 2000 or 29.99. So,
I mean,
that's none of us will be alive then to listen to it end.
I know. I'm going to have to write this down because I'm so curious now about this.
Yeah. Let's go visit London's.
Yeah, we're going to do that. We'll put a post on Facebook about that one so you guys can hear it yourself. Yeah. We can find a live stream. We'll post it and you guys can just turn it on every day for the rest of your life and listen to it,
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Jeez, oh Pete, that's amazing. I absolutely love
that.
Crazy. So, number 30, the final one. So, Antarctica. So, we're getting up where it's really cold. I guess down where it's really cold, right? Host an annual New Year's music festival. So, Antarctica's annual ice stock. Oh, how clever is that? The festival may be one of the coolest Ways to spend New Year's. The event is held at McMurdo Station, Antarctica, when the local population balloons to over 1,200 people during their summer months. So, obviously, it's their summer month is around New Year's, and so they actually have... And you really got to see this picture. The picture of the town is so small.
Yeah.
But, obviously, warmer time, you want to be there, and... That's interesting. I think that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Wonder what they're doing for COVID. Probably nothing.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, it's so cold, people may not. Well, I mean, if they say summer, so I'm just thinking if the picture that's posted here is their summer, I can't imagine what their winter is because it still looks pretty snowy. It's probably warm for them, you know.
Yeah.
Above 5 degrees is winter for them, but.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I just wonder how, like, the temperature their summer is, you know?
Yep. Well, I'm super excited. We're going to be doing some stuff. I actually have a friend of ours that's coming over tomorrow. A couple people are going to spend just a little small gathering, you know. We've been staying away from others, you know, social distancing, all that fun stuff.
Right.
So we're going to have a little small thing for the kids here tomorrow, so that should be exciting. Already got the Jell-O shots made, ready to go.
Jell-O shots.
Yeah. So that is super exciting. A little shorter one tonight. May not seem short 35 minutes in, but compared to what we usually do talking forever and ever, I mean, it can get long. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Happy New Year to everybody. Stay safe. I'm excited for what the new year has to bring for everyone. Hopefully better year than this year. Yeah, I look forward to it. It's a fresh start, new beginning.
Absolutely. And may God and everybody pray for 2021. Just saying, on the side note there. But
send great vibes into the year 2021.
That's right, yep. So we'd like to thank all you guys for watching this video, listen to the podcast. If you like it, go ahead and jack that like button right in the nose. Don't forget to tell your friends and family all about the Knab and Ro Show. And as always, this podcast is a wrap.
Till next year, kids.
Oh, good job, Ro.